step into IKEA looking for a single desk lamp. 2 hours later, you emerge into daylight holding a box of cinnamon rolls, a plush shark, 3 scented candles, and a bookshelf you didn't know existed. You didn't lose your willpower. You were systematically disoriented by one of the most effective psychological traps ever built in retail history. To understand why you can't leave, you have to understand Victor Gruen. In the 1950s, Gruen designed the modern shopping mall to recreate vibrant European city squares. But he accidentally discovered something far darker. If you overwhelm a shopper's senses with layout, lighting, and choices, their brain stops making rational decisions. Psychologists named it the Gruen Effect. While traditional stores try to help you find items quickly, IKEA perfected the art of keeping you trapped. Traditional supermarkets use grid layouts where every aisle is clear, structured, and predictable. You walk in, grab what you need, and leave. IKEA threw that rulebook in the trash. Instead of straight lines, they engineered the long winding path, a single, mandatory one-way track that forces you to walk past every single item in the store before you are allowed to reach the registers. When you enter, you are immediately routed to the upper showroom. Here, IKEA doesn't sell individual chairs or tables. They sell fully furnished micro-apartments. Your brain stops calculating price tags and starts visualizing an entire aspirational life. By placing products in realistic, cozy contexts, IKEA triggers the endowment effect, a psychological bias where you begin valuing an item as if you already own it. As you venture deeper into the showroom, something subtle begins to fade, your sense of time and space. IKEA stores are intentionally built without windows or clocks. The artificial, uniform overhead lighting remains completely static whether it's noon or midnight. Separated from the outside world, your internal biological clock relaxes, lowering your natural shopping urgency. Then comes the physical manipulation. Notice how the main path curves every 15 to 20 yards? That is not an aesthetic choice. Every curve cuts off your line of sight to the rest of the store, preventing visual fatigue. More importantly, it creates a psychological fear of missing out. You instinctively feel that if you don't look around this next corner right now, you might miss something valuable. If you try to shortcut the system, you'll encounter IKEA's hidden defense mechanism, the phantom exits. Shortcuts do exist, hidden behind plain metal doors or unmarked corridors. But they are intentionally unlit, unpromoted, and hard to spot. Unless you know exactly where to look, the floor design gently pushes you right back onto the primary winding trail. By the time you complete the showroom loop, decision fatigue sets in. You've evaluated hundreds of options, and your prefrontal cortex is exhausted. This is precisely when IKEA routes you down into the market hall. Here, the layout shifts from large furniture to small, cheap impulse items stacked in massive wire bins known as dump drums. Because these items are priced so low, your tired brain views them as zero-risk rewards. You toss in a $3 lint roller or a $5 picture frame without thinking. This leverages the sunk cost fallacy. You've already spent an hour walking through the store, so buying a few cheap items retroactively justifies the massive effort you've put into the trip. Right as your physical energy completely bottoms out, IKEA deploys its ultimate retention anchor, the food court, strategically placed halfway through the journey. Cheap hot dogs and Swedish meatballs aren't a customer courtesy. They are a calculated reset button. Recharging your blood sugar prevents you from fleeing the store early due to hunger, while low food prices reinforce the illusion that everything in IKEA is an incredible bargain. With your stomach full and your mental defenses down, you finally reach the warehouse. As you lift heavy flat-pack boxes onto your cart, another psychological mechanism kicks in, the IKEA effect. Research shows that people attribute disproportionately high value to products they build or physically handle themselves. The physical labor of pulling the box off the rack seals your ownership commitment before you even pay. When you finally navigate the checkout lines and step into the sunlight, the trap is complete. You didn't just buy furniture. You completed an engineered psychological obstacle course. IKEA didn't force you to buy anything. They simply designed a world where spending money was the path of least resistance.